Hi guys, good afternoon. This is Olutayo here. Welcome again to my YouTube channel. It's a beautiful afternoon today, Thursday, June 25. It's very beautiful outside. So guys, I'm here to give an update on surviving epithelial trophoblastic tumor. Like I said in my last video, it's a form of cancer, a very rare form of cancer. I know that, discussing cancer is not something that people want to talk about because we try to run away from saying certain things about ourselves, or we don't wish any evil on ourselves. We don't even want to think it or envisage it or something. But the reality is, it is what it is. Finding out I had ETT was by chance, and like every cancer, early detection is best for survival. So let's make this video more interactive by making it more like a question and answer. Let me start by saying, what is epithelial trophoblastic tumor and how did I find out? So I'm going to be reading from the medical dictionary. ETT, as it's the short form ETT as it's defined, is generally it is a tumor which is not associated with specific symptoms, but vaginal bleeding or menomorphoria, which is often noted as, and also low elevation of serum B human EHCG. T are rare condition. These are tumors that are part of a group of conditions called gestational trophoblastic disease. It's a name for abnormal cell or tumor that grows from tissues that form inside the womb during pregnancy. These tumors are part of a group of conditions called gestational trophoblastic tumor. The tumors develop from cells that grow to form the placenta. These cells are called trophoblast cells. They can happen after any type of pregnancy. These include molar pregnancy, miscarriages, abortions, or a full-term pregnancy. They can occur several months or years afterwards. So in my own case, I've had two births. So the doctor couldn't decipher how long this condition had been in my body because, as defined, it happens after pregnancy or even a miscarriage. So because it's a very rare condition, and because of how aggressive it is, it's actually slow growing, which means you might not even know that, such condition exists or you have such condition until one thing leads to another and then leads to another and then leads to another. But my case was I think it was divine because God just made it happen that I needed to do a surgery to resolve a particular condition, and then that led to me finding out I had this other condition. So if I had not gone to the hospital to complain about lack of menstruation to solve that issue, we would never have known that this was also present. And the worst thing about it is the fact that this is slow growing, and it can, spread to affect other organs in the body. It can affect the lungs, the kidney, liver, as far as it going into the brain, to cause a brain cancer. Something that just started down in the, reproductive region, going as far as traveling all the way around the body, which makes it very, very dangerous. So I'm grateful that it was discovered really pretty early, and during the CT scan, we found out that it was still contained within the uterus. So what are the symptoms of ETT or PSTT? The main symptoms is irregular bleeding from the vagina. In some women, this follows a loss of period. In my own case, I call it irregular bleeding because I was menstruating inward. The reason the menstruation was not coming out was because there was, an Ishmael cell condition. So everything is just intertwined. I don't know if, or there's a very high HCG level. In my case, when I did the HCG, it was 0. So that wasn't a reason for me to be afraid or for the doctor to panic. But the fact that, the ETT was quote and unquote already questioned was why it was like, she was like, I needed to do that surgery. Not because of the HCG, because my HCG level was 0. But according to other people's stories that I've come across, they usually have very, very high HCG. Surgery, what happens? So during surgery, they are going to take out those organs where the ETT was found. And once those those tissues are taken out, it's also taken again to pathology for further testing. Thankfully, I had my post-ops appointment today, and thank God, the cancer did not spread. Although when I did the CT scan, it was indicated that the tumor was contained within the uterus. But then it took about 3 months period from the time I did the CT scan to the time I did the surgery eventually. That was from March to June. 3 months, anything can go on within even a month. So it was just fingers crossed, praying to God and hoping that these things don't move around. So thankfully, after the surgery was concluded, when the tissue was taken out and tested, the lymph node was also taken out, and from the lymph node, it was tested that there was no cancer in every other part of my organ. So I survived cancer. So treatment afterwards. Treatment for ETT really is. So after surgery, what next? There's going to be monitoring. So my doctor is going to monitor me by me having to do frequent testing, CAT tests, blood tests, CT test, or MRI, just to be sure that everything is still fine. Nothing, no surprises. We don't want surprises, so that's why there's need for further tests. And when I discussed with my doctor today about the pathology, and I was asking her other questions, she mentioned to me that I'm the first person she's treating for this condition. And so, but from what she read and what she discussed with her colleagues, it's very rare for this to reoccur because it was caught very, very early. Thank God it didn't advance to other parts of my body, to other organs, because if it had advanced, then maybe to my lungs, for instance, I might be coughing really bad, even to the point of coughing blood, sneezing blood, things like that. And you just really wonder, like, early detection actually solves a lot of problem. Like, if this wasn't caught early, God forbid, it could lead to, it could advance from a ETT to maybe lungs cancer, liver cancer, things like that. So it just makes me wonder, like, this, it makes me thankful that even though it's a very slow growing form of cancer, tumor, whatever, it's very aggressive in the sense that once it starts moving, you never can say how far or how bad it would go. So I'm really, really, really thankful to God for that. So I would come back again to keep you guys informed on what I'm going to be doing going forward in terms of living healthy, stuff like that. Thank you for watching, and please share with friends, colleagues, Thank you. God bless you. Enjoy the rest of your day. Bye-bye.